Hello everyone, I'm just now getting back home not too long ago. Today I want to talk about something a little interesting here. I'm going to title this video, it's going to take you 7 years. The title is going to literally take you 7 years in Katsumoto. Okay. So, today actually I met with a student. I had a student I met with today. And I found it very interesting. She told me that one of the Japanese teachers told her that it will take her 7 years. That it's going to take her 7 years to actually learn Japanese. Very, very interesting. And it kind of bothered me a little bit, you know, when people make outrageous claims like that. But then I had to look at the whole picture and say, okay, first of all, who's saying something like that? Who is saying something? Who said this? And once again, as someone at the university, once again. So yeah, 7 years. And as I always talk about this, you know, I talk about this all the time about learning languages. You know, me being a language learner and know how to learn language effectively. I mean, it doesn't take that long to learn languages, okay? And you know, it's going to take you 7 years. Yeah, it's going to take you 7 years. It's the only way it's going to take you 7 years, okay? It's going to take you 7 years if you take the language up at the university, okay? Not just OSU, but any other university in the U.S. If you take it at the university, it's going to take you over 5 years to actually start getting good in the language. Okay, now as I always say, you have your exceptional students, but I'm looking at the majority. Okay, I'm looking at the majority, and majority of the time, most of these people they take these languages. You even have people getting degrees in these languages. They've never studied overseas, and they don't really learn independently. They just go straight to class and do the work and pass on, get the A and whatnot. They don't really learn the language effectively to a really good level. So it's like they're just being brainwashed. They're brainwashed by the university thinking that that's the only way. That's what they need to do. And you better do it that way or otherwise. So it ain't nothing but a bunch of brainwashing going on. So it's pretty interesting that she told her that it would take her 7 years to learn Japanese in the university. Okay. I forgot to mention B. I already mentioned A, but B, if you study the language independently, okay, if you study language independently, alright, and you don't have a consistent schedule, you don't know what you're doing, you're real sloppy with your studies. No boot camp, no serious boot camp or nothing. No consistent schedule. You just touch the Japanese books like maybe a couple times a month, and that's it. So maybe 2-3 hours a month you study Japanese. That's going to take you a long time. Okay, it's going to take you literally a long time to learn a language. That's another way it's going to take you that long to learn a language. But if you have a consistent schedule, you study in the right way, okay, it's a consistent schedule, then you will learn the language swiftly I would say within a year. For the average person, it'll take at least a year, okay, at least a year. And depending on your time, it should take you at least a year. You study language. I mean, I'm talking about serious boot camping. If you get in boot camp for the whole year or whatnot, you want to learn a language really, really well. Period. Bottom line. Okay. And I say Katsumoto. I want to talk about. I know I've been praising. You know, I like to praise people. I like to give respect where it's due. I like to give props where it's due. Okay. I like to give respect and give props. And today I'm going to take my time and I'll talk about Katsumoto. And most of you, well, probably many of you who are studying Japanese, you guys know who he is. You guys been to his page. He's pretty popular. So, I mean, I want to talk about him. I've never mentioned him in any of my videos, but I feel that I need to say something about him today because going back talking about this studying languages independently without having ever been to the country, never taken formal classes, just at home. Just at home studying language real hard, using your own methodologies or whatnot, and within a year you learn a language fluently. Okay, so this is why I want to talk about him. I think he's amazing, and he's another inspiration to us independent language learners because You know, he's not taking any formal classes, and he's learning language independently. Now I know he's in Japan. I know he's in Japan now, but I'm looking at before he went to Japan. Before he went to Japan, he was able to learn that Japanese fluently within a year. Okay, it didn't take him that long. He just put in a whole bunch of hard work, and he learned the language swiftly. So that's an indication that you can do this independently. Okay, you got people out here telling you to go to the university and take all these classes and spend all this money, when you could be saving a whole bunch of money just being at home and using that money for resources or whatever you need to learn that language. Okay, you don't really need nobody teaching you the language. You have to learn language on your own. So that's what I want to talk about him. And I think, like, yeah, this is like a little after, maybe a year after I started making videos on YouTube. I came across his page, or actually somebody sent me a link to his page and his videos, and I saw his page. I went to his page and saw I read through some things, and then I saw some interview he had, and I was amazed because his way of thought, the way he thought about the system and whatnot, was pretty much similar. And like we agree on a lot of things in foreign languages, learning foreign languages. Now his goals may be different than mine. Our goals may be different, but overall we have the same. We agree on the same thing in terms of learning foreign languages. Same with Steve Kaufman. Steve Kaufman, he's the same thing. We all have the same. We agree on the same thing. Learning foreign language. You have to have fun learning the language. You have to. Okay, that's one of the things we agree on. So we share a lot of similarities in that, in that area. Our goals may not be similar, but hey, we all agree when it comes to having fun learning the language. Making sure you're having fun so you can learn the language. Have fun learning, you learn it swiftly. So I mean, he's another inspiration to all of us independent language learners, and never been to the country, studying the language, spent time in the country. So he deserved to be talked about, and I believe we need more people. I believe we need more people standing up talking about this stuff, because it's important. And if we reach out to a lot more people, get people out of the matrix, out of this brainwashed state, they wake up, they'll save a lot more money on learning language. They probably even won't major in any language at school. They just learn language independently. That's the best way to do it, save money. So we need more people standing out talking about this. So yeah, that's all I want to ramble about. Oh yeah, there's another thing. You guys know that I had a student, Jason. I worked with Jason. I worked with him for we were supposed to work together for 3 months, but after working with him, after 2 months went by, he pretty much got the picture of what he needed to do to learn the language, and he continued on his own. So one of his classmates tried to criticize his accent, said he has an accent. Oh, Jason has an accent. But the funniest thing about it, okay, let me go back. Before I started working with Jason, okay, he saw my flyers, as he said in his video. He saw my flyers, and he was really serious about learning Japanese, like very, very serious. So he wanted to see what my program was about. So we met up and we talked about it, and he said, okay, let's do this. He wanted to get down and dirty with the Japanese, so we started doing it. And he was amazed. And it was, to me, I was confused at first. I'm like, why is this dude so... Like, he was so happy. Like, after our first week, when he learned conditional. Like, dude literally went crazy. I taught him conditional in the first week, and he went crazy. And I'm like, something that simple, you should learn it one-on-one. So that's another thing. In the university, they got people, they make language learning out to be difficult when it's not, especially Japanese. They go through all this grammar and all these unnecessary explanations, and they make the language, the way they teach it, they make it like it's difficult when it's not. And it makes the language learning process not fun at all. Very, very, very stressful. So they make it out to be difficult. So when I work with these students who are taking these classes at the university, they are so shocked when the stuff that I teach them, all this stuff, the context and whatnot, they are so shocked and happy, because they've never been exposed to that type of language learning before. So Jason, before we started our thing, we met, and he tried to have a conversation with me in Japanese, but he pretty much failed. He tried, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. But now, you look at him now, he came a long way. You know, after I showed him the real deal, after I showed him what he needed to do, the real way of learning languages, and not listening to them up at the university, you know, once I showed him that, he knows what to do now. And now he's doing really, really well in Japanese. Really, really well. And as far as those people in his classmates, those who were criticizing him, they just left in the smoke. Like, he just ran all over him, road running all over the place. They all gone. I mean, he just left all of them. You know, so it's not like trying to compare to other students, because like I said before, it's not the students' fault. They're just brainwashed. They don't know how to learn languages. They just listen to the people at the university and they think that's the way when it's not. So I just look at it like this: you shouldn't criticize people if you haven't, you know, if you can't speak the language, you shouldn't be criticizing. You shouldn't be criticizing others, period. Because we both learn a foreign language, you shouldn't be criticizing anybody about anything. So yeah, he did really well, doing really well in Japanese. So I mean, what? I mean, you can't speak Japanese. You going around criticizing somebody else's accent. So what? He had an accent, but the boy can speak Japanese. He can have some pretty good, effective conversations with the native speakers, and that's what's most important. If you want to pick the accent up, hey, you pick the accent up when you go over to the country or whatever. Everyone has their own goals. You know, that's on him, whatever he wants to do. But I helped him. I did my job. I don't teach accents. I teach people how they need to be learning languages out here, and how they need to learn language independently and have fun with it. So yeah, it's just and all it is a bunch of brainwashing. They got people's brains, is so much brainwashing going on. They just got their brains leaking all out, leaking all over the place, just oozing out of the ears, just brains, nothing but brains. Got these boys brainwashed out here. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling here. I just wanted to make the video, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Katsumoto, and a little bit about this learning language for taking 7 years. So let me know what you guys think about the video, and thanks for viewing, and I will be talking to you guys soon.